one of my favorite definitions of poetry, and I collect definitions of poetry, is W.H. Auden, who said, poetry can best be defined. No, he said something like, poetry can perhaps be defined as the clear expression of mixed feelings. There's a lot to talk about there. It's the expression itself is as clear as it can be, but the feelings, those can be mixed. Notice that it's not the mixed expression of clear feelings, and that is something I do not want to do in poetry. I don't want to give you a wishy-washy glimpse into my clear, this is absolutely how I think about this. No, for me, poetry is the perfect medium to explore subjects that you feel ambivalent. Sometimes you feel one way about them, sometimes you feel another. Are they good? Are they bad? I don't know. But I'm going to give you a clear snapshot of how mixed up I am about that. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. This is a poem by Jeffrey McDaniel called The Abandoned Factory of Sense. When I was a kid, my mother had the prettiest face, a smile that could pry open the hearts of construction workers, eyes bright as a Kennedy's future, lips red as a robin feather floating in a bathtub filled with milk, and everybody loved her. But when we came home, she'd take off her face and hang it on a special pole by her bed. And if I got scared or sad or just wanted the lollipop of her attention, she couldn't give it because she didn't have any eyes or mouth to teach the word stop, no lips to kiss me goodnight, or nose to smell the roses balled up in my fist. That's a poem by Jeffrey McDaniel, and it's the phrase, the lollipop of her attention, that I love. That is obviously a metaphor. And this lessonette is called Cultivating a Secret and Broken Honesty. And get ready to pause this video, maybe right now. The first thing you're going to want to do is get a piece of paper and a pen, or open up a computer and start a fresh document. So pause this, and when you're ready to go on, we'll continue. So as I said, W.H. Auden was the one who said poetry can perhaps best be defined by the clear expression of mixed feelings. And there are several other definitions of poetry, favorites of mine, that all express poetry's tendency to do more than one thing at a time, or to, as Auden said, catch a glimpse of something that's not clear. Jane Hirshfield said, a good poem always pulls in two different directions. Robert Frost said, poetry begins in delight and ends in wisdom. Might be a good discussion to say, what would it be like if a poem tried to begin in wisdom and then end in delight? Poets are people who are not content to say only one thing at a time. My mentor, Billy Collins, said that. Christopher Fry said, poetry is the language in which man says heaven and earth in one word. All right. Here's the gist of the exercise. And by the way, I'm gonna take you to a place, and then right when the really hard work needs to start, I'm going to abandon you, and then you're going to have to do the rest of your writing on your own. I can take you so far, but not all the way. So what I want you to do is create 3 columns. At the top of each of the 3 columns, write the following words. Column number 1, over on the left-hand side, is going to say gerunds. Those are verbs that end in ing, like running or thinking or cultivating. Column 2, the middle column, is going to be adjectives. That's for you put 2 adjectives, describing words. And column 3 is for nouns. I like concrete nouns, things you can touch. But abstract nouns would work as well. Abstract nouns are things like ideas, honesty, democracy, desire, hunger, things you can't feel or touch. Some people debate as to whether or not hunger is something you can touch and feel. Hunger, I think, is an abstract noun. Now you come up with phrases. Each phrase has basically 4 words to it, and it's going to be a gerund, 2 adjectives, and a noun. And make them be things that go together, like writing a thoughtful and prompt thank you note or letter. Writing a thoughtful and prompt thank you note. Cooking a healthy and delicious meal. Here are some other examples. I'm going to talk you through them. Cultivating a lush and verdant garden. Nursing a deep and painful wound. Okay, you get the healing a broken and clumsy heart. Kneading some healthy and homemade bread. All right, check these out. As I said, you can go with abstract or concrete nouns. It doesn't matter. So that's 8 examples right there. I'm gonna put those up on the screen, and why don't you pause the video when those are up on the screen as examples, and come up with 5 more of your own, 5 more phrases, just like cultivating a lush and verdant garden. Make them be actual phrases that go together. Don't go straight for let's say, destroying a logical and acrobatic honesty. That's creative, but why are you taking this workshop if you have a mind like that, okay? So pause it now and come back when you've got 5 more examples. Now comes the fun part where you take the list that you have. And if you've added 5, you've got 13 of these phrases that go together. And now you mix them up by taking the gerund from one line, an adjective from 2 different lines, and combining them with a noun from yet another line. And now they don't have to make as much sense. You're just looking for interesting combinations, such as cultivating a deep and broken friend. And you see whether that triggers anything for you. Have you ever had a deep and broken friend? Have you been one? Why would you ever cultivate that type of friendship? Okay, see whether it triggers something. Nursing a deep and I already used deep. Nursing a healthy and shameful heart. Oh, practically the poem is writing itself. I nursed a deep and shameful heart, a healthy. What does it mean to have a healthy and shameful heart? Is it entirely natural to experience a healthy dose? Is there such a thing as a healthy dose of shame? That's a question I want to write about right now. I harbored a jagged and homemade wound. Middle school for me was a long process of extracting a beautiful and secret splinter. So those are the 4 that I've got that I would now want to journal. Pick 1, maybe 2. If you do more than that, the audience is going to say you're writing formulaically. Pick 1 and journal about it. And see, this just I've found is a good way to destroy even the most logical and acrobatic honesty. So here's where I abandon you and where the real work begins. And you would need to, I would say, journal for 15 minutes. You've got a phrase, cultivating a secret and a broken honesty. And here's where you do the work of thinking about, okay, what in my life could be legitimately, metaphorically described as cultivating a secret and broken honesty. This is the hard work. This is where I abandon you and you work. Is this a poem in and of itself? No, it's just a phrase or 2 that you're going to use. Does it make you sound poetic? Yes, it does. Is this the kind of thing that poets do? Absolutely. Do they think about it like this? Maybe not. Maybe after a while you get to the point where you can already think like this. I'd love to see what you get. Tweet me at Taylor Molly, or go to taylormolly.com for other tips. I hope you enjoyed this.